chat, Senin eventually fell to the surging Bly. With the win qualifying Bly for the global finals a second time, on top of his NA qualifier performance, Senin, much to the joy of Twitch chat, then by default managed to qualify for the global finals. Senin had strong performances, dismantling his opponents Crowbar, Sensei, and the StarCraft 2 veteran Moro. Mana is what many believe to be one of the most successful foreign Protoss players of all time, with championships in DreamHack and ESWC, along with second place finishes in DreamHack, Asus ROG, ESWC, and the 2015 WCS Season 3 Finals. His results speak for themselves. But never forget, what more can be said about Pult than what has already been said? Pult is a legend in StarCraft 2, arguably the most consistent, high-level StarCraft 2 player to ever play the game. This Korean Terran, living in America, has been adopted as one of their own, representing the foreign scene with pride, poise, and face-smashing results. Pult has so many top tournament placements that we would have to postpone this event until tomorrow if I were to list them all. So let me say this, with Legacy of the Void, Captain America's dominance may have only just begun. Alright guys, welcome back to the Gauntlet StarCraft Legacy of the Void series Global Finals, brought to you by ESL, Nexus Recall, and Falcon Paladin. The event is sponsored by C-Tone and the Gauntlet crew. Follow them on Twitter at GauntletSC2, and also hit up that follow button right here on Twitch TV to get notified for future events. I'm Bobby Awesome. With me is Falcon Paladin. Dude.
Yes.
Sweet, you're there. Awesome sauce. We'll be heading into the series right now, guys. We're in the lobby of Dusk Towers for Pult versus Mana. The series a lot of you have been waiting for there in Twitch chat, or TwitchCat, also known as. Heading to the game right away. Pretty hyped for that. Falcon, you have a YouTube channel I hear about. I want to hear about it more.
I do. It is Falcon Paladin. You can find me at youtube.com/Falcon Paladin. 2 daily Legacy of the Void ladder uploads with GM and pro level players every single day of the week, Sunday through Saturday. And I'll see you there. Also, you can find me on Twitter and Facebook at /Falcon Paladin. And yeah, that's about it.
That's pretty interesting too. Like daily Legacy of the Void videos and stuff. That's dedication. Well done, sir. And I
work
a lot
hard
of good
for the
content
money.
there. Yeah, excellly. And excellent content on that channel. I highly recommend it. And yeah, definitely, a relatively new channel and putting in the work, and it pays off. All right, guys, we'll be heading to game number 1 very soon. Pult versus Mana, right here in the round of 8, guys. This is still a best of 3, so a lot on the line. Anything can happen.
Oh, and there's that countdown, counting down from 10.
And it's about to start.
Go.
Sweet. All right, guys. We're gonna be heading. PC crash. That'll be so depressing. All right. Yeah, guys, we're just loading it up right now. Loading screen is there, guys. Remember, $1,000 prize pool in this event. First place $650, second place $200, third and fourth $75 each. A lot on the line. Not just honor, but money as well. We are in the map right now. Here we go. To the north, we have the blue Protoss player. It is Liquid Mana.
And to the south, we have the red Terran player. Everybody in TwizCat give him a lot of love. It is Pult, representing CM Storm.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's been on CM Storm. I guess representing them for quite some time, as they seem to have a pretty good partnership together. Good to see. Tech companies supporting StarCraft players. It's not like a traditional team as we've come to know teams in esports and sports in general, but it's a good sponsor sticking with him, and he's providing results too, and that's also what matters. And I mean, come on, it's Pult. He's one of the best players ever, as the little Pult video said too. I mean, he has so many accomplishments. I could be here until the cows come home, so to speak, saying of all the accolades that this guy has achieved throughout his StarCraft 2 career. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, definitely. If you go to his page on Liquipedia, you see, I mean, so many wins. OSL, I mean, he went ahead and took it to Fruit Dealer back in the day as well. Just a fantastic, fantastic player all the way around.
Yeah,
And
GSL
we will
champion, this
see.
guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't argue
And,
with that.
yeah, 3-time WCS champion. Crazy. I mean, also, let's not forget about Mana. I mean, he's in really excellent form right now. In the last season of the WCS Premier League, he got runner-up, just lost to Lilbo. What was in a spectacular series. He's in top form. And now Legacy of the Void is a very different game from Heart of the Swarm. But nonetheless, it seems to be translating quite well as Mana is starting to improve more and more in this game. And now we just see him scouting around. That's going to be a short-lived scout, though, as that Reaper pops out and will eventually kill this probe. But he got what he needed to see, and that its dead carcass falls outside the map.
Indeed, and the probe did get a quick scout off. Did see there was no double gas coming up at the main base, which is quite a tell on its own. But yeah, there's another expansion coming on up. Pult, Mana getting a Nexus of his own, and a Reaper running around just making sure there are no proxy pylons coming on up. You cannot be too careful when dealing with a liquid mana. And Adept coming out, initially being Chrono Boost out of that gateway, Mothership Core on the way as well. And I would not be surprised to see a quick Cybernetics core here coming up from our Protoss player. Seems to be a standard and favored build, especially in this matchup.
Robotics facility, yes, we know exactly what you meant. We have the, I guess, Adept on the way now for Liquid Mana. The Stalker here just denying any further scouting from Reapers on the part of Pult. Now, this is Pult. You have to give him lots of respect. You have to be very adamant and on your game in order to deny whatever Pult's game plan is. Like, this is Pult's game. You're just living in it. And it's just a matter of how does Mana react to what Pult's doing. Mana himself may have a build in mind, and he's taking that very quick third Nexus, which I actually really like on the part of Mana, because if Pult decides not to be super aggressive, this will pay off extraordinarily well very soon.
Yes, absolutely, for sure. Oh, let me fix something here.
There goes the robotics facility, just going down now for our Protoss player. Not yet scouted by Pult, but Pult is very sneaky with his... I mean, let's give him credit where credit is due. That Reaper is not dead yet. So nice to see that it's still live. Potential scouting, scouting potential there, should he want to do it. Oh, actually, there we go. Just saying it's alive, it just died to these very dangerous Adepts.
Definitely, Adepts.
Actually, they're getting caught up by this the Cyclone here, actually. He's going to lose... Yeah, he may lose both of them. No, he manages to scoot his way just out of sight of this Cyclone, but it's going to be short-lived as this Adept will go down. An excellent little introduction, getting that Cyclone out. We've seen this already before in this event, just to deny scouting. It can, attack both air and ground, denies, probe scouts, or in this case, double Adepts took out. It's by itself. So excellent play here by Pult. Well read on the situation, but it's not game ending at all by any means, as Mana has that very fast aforementioned third base, saturating it up. But now Pult is going to waddle across the map here with these Marines. Look at them march, and they mean business. This is not an army that's supposed to stay alive. This is an army meant to do something hurtful to his opponent. And we're going to see if Pult can pull it off, but if anybody can, it is this guy, Captain America himself, Sam Storm's Pult.
Looks like it's a timing to make sure that Stim is completed by the time he gets there. It's about 80% complete now. I think by the time they march up that ramp, it should be ready to go. And Stim to Marines and Marauders do benefit greatly from that attack upgrade. Definitely, for sure, for a temporary time, trading it for their health. Lock-on ability being used on that Stalker, but it does escape with its life, thinking it's lucky stars that it was able to do so. Blink being researched by Liquid Mana here. At the same time, we have more and more probes coming out, more gateways and assimilators for the Protoss player.
Yeah, Blink is over halfway done for Mana right now, and that actually puts Pult on a little bit of a timer here. There's not a lot of bio, all things considered, just outside the third base of Mana. And once Blink is researched, Pult does not want to have that bio caught out in the middle of the map like that, because then it will most certainly be forfeit.
Yep, definitely want to avoid that one for sure. Here comes a drop with 2 medevacs coming on up, full of Marines and Marauders. They're going to try to do what they can. I assume this will be a book at the front door with the Marines and Marauders at the front door, and then a dropper along the back side. Although it looks like the medevacs might be coming up to support that attack at the front here as well. Nope, just picking up a couple units.
Up a Marauder.
Yep, then moving on over to the left side here.
This is actually all well spotted by Mana with that observer. He has some stalkers there, just with Blink to keep in mind to deny any of that aggression. And Polt rightfully sees it, doesn't commit to it, and takes a third behind this.
Yep, just keeping the pressure on the Protoss player, taking a third at the same time, recognizing the importance of attacking and expanding simultaneously. Immortals on the way for Mana here. Resonating Glaives on the way increases the attack speed of Adepts by 45%, making them little DPS machines, even into the late game, giving them some great utility, which is what Protoss players have wanted for a very long time. Additionally, a shield upgrade coming and another Forge as well for Mana here. And here comes Polt. He's going to march up this ramp, see what he can do. And good force fields coming down. Guardian Shield coming up at the same time. Marauders and Marines are forced to retreat with their lives. Some of them, others, leave their blood on the ramp.
Yeah, it's a little bit deceptive nowadays in Legacy of the Void with that Adept Edition. They're not a squishy unit, so they do tank quite a lot of damage as far as the gateway composition is concerned for Protoss. And that along paired with those Immortals, which are heavy damage versus the Marauders, as long as they're focused firing their Marauders down, and they themselves tank a lot of damage. That is a meaty army in regards to the Protoss army.
Absolutely, for sure. So again, a lot of adepts here, sentries, immortals coming out as well, continuing with the immortal production. Those do pretty well against these bio compositions, especially if marauders are heavy in what exactly the Terran is trying to do. So Polt just kind of chilling, making sure a fourth base doesn't come up. In this position, he can cover both this fourth potential base as well as the one to the northern lefter side of where he is. In the meantime, I would not be surprised to see Polt take a fourth of his own. Yep, making an orbital command center somewhere. There it is, the third base, now fully ready to throw down additional mules, and that's what happens. A robotic bay coming up for Mana as well. I'd be surprised if they're disruptors. Polt splitting is pretty good, but I might be surprised by that.
Yeah, this is actually a nice little position here by Polt, just keeping Liquid Mana honest and on his side of the map. More than anything, keeping an eye out on the composition and army of Mana himself. Mana doing the same thing, actually, sending out the shades just to keep an eye, make sure this army isn't loading up into the medevacs and dropping on inside one of the expansions of Mana himself. So yeah, it's a pretty even game right now, with only 60 SCVs for Polt, but again, as you previously mentioned, with those mules, it sort of equalizes it out. They account for about 10 workers themselves. So yeah, this allows actually Mana to now push ahead. Polt does not want to overcommit here, but just picking off whatever he can. Takes a Stalker for his troubles. Actually, a couple Adepts as well go down here as they're on hold position, not able to respond.
Observer helping them to spot the Widowmine, taking it out very, very for sure. And the disruptors start to be produced by Mana, going for double disruptors out of double robotics facilities. Interesting. We'll see how that pulls out. Again, the splits for the Terran player are most important here. Polt should be able to handle it. I'd be surprised if he can't. But at the same time, Mana, with his control, might make them more effective than your average Protoss player. There is that fourth base coming up there in the location, and it is a little bit easy to be harassed. There's a high ledge there. That is something you have to worry about if you take your fourth there. It's a little bit closer to your third, but at the same time, you do have to watch out for that high ledge potential.
Yeah, Polt now is moving across the map with ill intentions indeed, but there's ghosts in this army, and that is not to be underestimated. As actually, there's quite a healthy number of them as well. With their EMP ability on this very shield-heavy Protoss army. There's sentries, we got disruptors, and disruptors are actually pretty good against this bio composition, but if these ghosts in unison with this bio can focus down these disruptors fast enough, he may be in an excellent position, especially with the zoning out capability of the Liberators. The engagement occurs though now.
Yeah, Stalker's going for it, and Nova, getting killed there before the Nova actually explodes is the Disruptor, but pushing right on in. Liberators taking shots from Stalkers at the same time, not able to use their Defender mode to very much of their advantage at all. Reinforcing Marines and Marauders come pushing on up once again, chasing away Mana's forces. And Nova gonna force them back, hitting a couple Marines there, and again, huge group of Marines and Marauders on the right side there. Another Nova comes in and does explode, blinking forward, taking advantage. Trying to kill those ghosts at the same time. The ghosts are running as fast as their little legs can take them, but Mana holds. Mana holds.
Yeah, that was excellent by Mana. He actually got some pretty ace hits with those disruptors, really punishing Polt for not splitting his army as effectively as we've seen from him in the past. So a little bit of slip up there by Polt, and it cost him dearly, as now we have Mana 50 supply ahead, and now he's pushing the issue, moving across the map to try to take out this fourth base of Polt, and Polt needs this fourth base so badly at this stage of the game.
He really does, but moving right on in with his Stalkers and Adepts in the front. Another Nova forcing the Bile army back. There's just not much here for Polt. A couple Liberators throwing down Defender mode circles. The Stalkers immediately focus their abilities on them. They're trying to snipe down every single Liberator, and one more remaining, but that is about it. The Disruptors on the front lines, they don't give any cares, falling as well. Stalkers, Adepts taking care of this very, very Marine-heavy. Marauders at the same time trying to smash down what they can, but there's just too much army here. Blinking forward with the Stalkers. Polt calls the GG. Mana takes game number 1.
Wow, well played by Liquid Mana. I would say an underdog heading into this series, and Polt just not up to the task in this game anyway. But it all had to do with that opening. Mana took a very greedy build. That was a greedy build. Fast third base. The third was much later for Polt. Polt didn't end up punishing that third base in any way, shape, or form. The drop that he attempted to do was seen by the observer at the front. He initially did the poke with the front that did nothing, so he had a whole bunch of units that did 0 damage, then tried a drop that got seen before it happened. He didn't lose the drop, but it also didn't do damage, which needed to equalize the economic game at that stage. So well played by Mana, took that economic risk, and it paid off, and straight into a GG.
Yeah, for sure. A bit of a surprise there. All the fans in Twist Cat of Polt might be a little bit worried about their hero now. But again, Mana is a great player. There is no shame in dropping a single game to him. I'm sure Polt will come back with a vengeance in game number 2.
Yeah, we're going to be heading to game number 2 right away, guys, of this best of 3 in the round of 8 for the Gauntlet Legacy of the Void series. Global Finals. Polt versus Mana. Guys, a lot is on the line. $1,000 prize pool. I'm Bobby Awesome. With me is Falcon Paladin. A real joy to be here with you guys. Looks like my mic may be a little loud. It might be clipping yet. In fact, it is. It's clearly clipping. Let's turn that down. I'll turn it down. Well, because I'm not talking loud, that'll clip right there. All right, guys. I'm going to test out the mic here as it seems to be clipping. It should be good overall now, I hope. We'll figure it out. If anything, I'll just move the mic a little bit further away. Solve that issue. It's weird, it wasn't clipping before. Technology, Falcon, it happens. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining us so far, guys. We have lots of StarCraft ahead of us, guys. Polt is not out of it yet. This is a best of 3. So he still can come back from this, and guys, it's Polt. Come on, what's the rule of thumb? You never set Polt behind, because then he wins. That's what usually happens. If he's behind in the series or behind in the game, he just wins the game. So you don't, if you plan on winning the series, don't get ahead. That's how it is.
Seems like a solid strategy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like it. Just let him win, and you'll be in a better position.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, too, in the brackets, by the looks of it, Bly is ahead 1-0 versus Bales. That is interesting. Bly is so good in Legacy of the Void. I really want to see Bales, go further here. But I mean, who can deny Bly? Clearly not Bales in this case, but who knows? That is also a best of 3, so Bales still has a chance. I don't know if that series is still going on right now, how up current these brackets are, but that'll be interesting to watch later on. All right, guys, we're heading into game number 2 of this best of 3 in the Gauntlet StarCraft Legacy of the Void Global Finals. To the right side of the map, we have the blue Protoss. It is Liquid Mana.
And spawning in cross positions, it is the light blue Terran player, representing Terrans everywhere. It is Polt. How are these both blue? How did that happen to us?
Yeah, one's like teal / light blue. The other guy's blue. I don't know.
I don't know. They look pretty similar.
Us, man. Yeah.
Like no one's ever called me colorblind, but yeah, for sure. That'd be terrible. It looks like Mana is going indeed. Boop. For a gateway expand, very standard play indeed, and then sends the probe out to scout. I do love to see this from players. Too few do it, and to be entirely honest, but regardless, Polt on the other hand is getting a barracks up, and he's sending an SAV out as well to do some scouting. It's a huge map. It's a 4-player map, and anybody can spawn at any position. There's no rules about cross or close spawning, and so you do really have to get out there and scout, or you'll never know where your opponent is, especially if you're planning on sending like some Adepts out or some Reapers. Not knowing where they're going can slow down your aggression and really make it less effective. So it's worth the time to send out a worker, as Polt and Mana are both doing here, just to make sure that your Reaper, as Polt is building at this moment, will get where it needs to go, and I have to assume Adepts for mana will get where they need to go as well.
Yep, I completely agree. This is a large map, as you previously mentioned, and scouting is key. Information is, 90% of this game. Knowing what your opponent is doing, it determines what adaptations you need to do to your build. If you have a previously set build, or if you're a reactionary player, how do you, create a build, mid-game to adapt to what your opponent is doing? If he's fast expanding, do you punish, or do you get more start fast expanding yourself? What tech do you do? Counters. This is a game of knowledge. Little things, even at a stage like this, where there isn't a whole lot to see, can tell you a whole lot because of what you don't see. And sometimes that can be scary, though, too. Especially as Protoss, can often, let's say, proxy tech. Like, if they decide to proxy a Stargate, you're in their base. What don't you see? Do you not see that third pylon? Depending on the timing of the time of the game you're scouting at that point. And these things could tell you a lot. Or as a proxy Dark Shrine. These are things that can happen, but it's all about knowledge, and that's why denying scouting is so important, and also hiding tech is equally as important too.
Absolutely, the truth there is the Reaper moves on in.
Yeah, we actually this probe actually sitting around the main base going to get picked off, not getting a whole lot else done, but its life was forfeit the moment it left its home base, getting the job it needed to do, scouting what buildings Polt was getting up, as we got one of each structure.
And the Stalker does.
Openings. Oh, he does.
Yeah, very standard. The Stalker does chase the Reaper away, might try to hop up on a different ledge and see what he can do there. But a Widowmine actually on the way for Polt, on fairly early Widowmine as well here. And the Starport looks like we might see some Widowmine drops based on the timing for what's going on here. Apparently his fans in chat have been calling for him to do more of this non-stop dropping he is well known for, so that might be something he is planning on doing here. A Cyclone sitting at the front door, the Reaper going to hop on up, it looks like, into the main base. The Adept, though, is ready for it, does take it down in 3 shots. The Cyclone wants to kill this Stalker, but no, Mothership Core and Photon Overcharge take it down, burn it to the ground without killing much of anything at all. So wow, well defended there by Mana.
Let's keep in mind, this is a one-base play by Polt, so a little bit uncharacteristic for him, but it also can pay off if he pulls it off here. Again, he is a drop machine, a multi-pronged attack. Oh, wow, this is a little bit unfortunate for both players, I would say, as the drops spot each other. Who that is advantageous to, I'm not entirely sure. Quite possibly, I think, in Mana's case, as he could send his Mothership Core to overcharge. Oh, my God!
Oh, Widowmine shot. Gets 11 probe kills, just barely picks up that probe that was running away from it.
Did he not see that happening? Oh, he was a little bit too busy, I think. That is a little bit unfortunate for Mana, as he did lose a lot of workers. That being said, he has 2 bases. He can Chrono Boost out workers, and he's still ahead in the worker count. And he's doing a drop of his own.
Yeah, Warp Prism drop of his own coming right on in. The Resonating Glaives upgrade being researched as well for Mana, making those Adepts do 45% quicker damage. There's a Viking here, though. The Viking should be enough to shoo away the Warp Prism, or at least prevent more reinforcements from coming on in. A Banshee swinging around the backside at the same time. The Adepts do manage to drop more and more Adepts getting warped in at the same time. The Viking desperately trying to burn down the Warp Prism. Can't quite manage to do it there. Adepts killing so many SCVs. 11 more falling, but the Banshee also going after more units. Photon Overcharge being used to shoo that one away. The Warp Prism does fall, but the Adepts are still causing trouble inside the Terran main base. And there they are. And a Cyclone is here as well. Does not take extra damage from these Adepts. A pretty good choice. And the Adepts do get cleaned up, and the Banshee killing more and more probes here as well. 12 SCVs left for Polt, 29 for Mana, but losing them shortly. They are running for their lives. Stalkers popping on in, and they should be enough to clean out this Banshee, especially with the Observer support. Photon Overcharge getting the final blow on in, but it is 27-12 total Harvesters. Mana in a very commanding position, especially with his 2 base. What can Polt do?
Yeah, that was absolutely excellent attack by Mana. Managed to make up for whatever he did lose, and then some. Both lost about an equal amount of workers there. That Banshee really put in the work, but it was, again, a 1-base saturation Terran versus a 2-base Protoss, who was able to Chrono Boost out workers, already had a higher worker count, so he could afford to lose some. And yeah, Polt really was in a behind position right from the get-go. And now he's trying to make something happen here with this push, but there's not enough here. GG is called. Mana takes the series 2-0. Oh, no.
Wow.
I don't know what to
say
to that.
Did not see that coming. Me neither. That, I feel like that's going to give some more ammunition to our Terran salty players, but it is what it is, and Mana moves on in the tournament.
I mean, let's be real. That was a one-base play. Like he killed a lot of workers with that Widow Mine, but he needed to kill that many and then more, perhaps, just because of the worker lead that Mana already had. So you have that because he was already on 2 bases. He was already chrono boosting out probes from both bases. Thus, he could afford to lose some probes and still be, fine in footing. We saw that, and that's how it played. That's why I don't like one-base play in Legacy of the Void. We talked about this earlier on. One-base plays are hard to justify economically in Legacy of the Void, and yeah, that's a hard lesson that I think Polt just learned right there. But so the Polt fans, I feel your pain. But hey, guys, Liquid Mana moves on to the round of 4, and he's already in the money. So congrats to him. Guys, this is the Gauntlet Legacy of the Void Series Global Finals. I'm Bobby Awesome, with me is Falcon Paladin. This event is brought to you by ESL, Nexus Recall, and Falcon Paladin. The event is sponsored by C-Tone and the Gauntlet crew. Follow them on Twitter at GauntletSC2 for news, updates, and other event stuff regarding the Gauntlet series. Also, hit up that follow button right here on Twitch TV to get notified of future events when they air. We're going to be heading into our next series not too long from now. Here's a little look at the brackets as they stand. They're not quite fully updated yet, but we get the idea. Neeb versus Beyond is one of the series that will be happening. That is interesting. We're going to be going for that one, I think. Yes, we are. We will be broadcasting Neeb versus Beyond, guys. That's pretty sick there, Falcon.
Yeah, I'm on board. That's going to be a good one for sure. Beyond, as you said, on a roll lately, especially in those online tournaments.
Yeah, Beyond 2-1 Puck. And Puck, we know his... for what we've seen in the limited history of Legacy of the Void, is playing really well. He's representing the foreign scene very, very well for himself. He performed above expectations at the recent DreamHack, managing to take out Bomber and Serral, I believe, if I remember correctly. But Bomber for sure. I think he 2-0'd Bomber when they faced each other. So we know he's pretty dang good versus Terran players in Legacy of the Void. And so Beyond managed to take him out 2-1. But shows the power of Beyond. And I'm looking at Twistcat right now. Oh, they're so sad.
Everyone's freaking out.
I know. Sorry, guys. Pulse. Hey, we got to see him play, right? That's an awesome thing. So chin up, have joy, and a full heart. We'll see more of him in the very near future. Of that, I'm sure. Also, other results. Still has Bly 1-0 over Bales. I don't know what the update is on that series. And, of course, Nurchio 2-0ing Violet. So Nurchio is in the semifinals himself, and will face the winner of Bly and Bales.
I'm on board. That sounds good to me. Let's do that.
Yeah, that's pretty rad too. I mainly want to see Bales beat Bly because I want to see PVZ in that semifinals versus Nurchio. I want to see Bales face off Nurchio, especially if he does beat Bly, hypothetically speaking. That shows what level Bales would be playing at in that case. And I'd love to see that versus Nurchio, who we're very familiar with over the last qualifiers and such. So we know this guy's playstyle, and I just want to see how it contrasts to Bales, who we know a lot less about in regards to Legacy of the Void.
Yeah, and like you said, a ZVP would be fun. Haven't cast one of those today. It is my favorite matchup, and so I would love to see for sure Bales go up against Nurchio. Bales, who continues to impress, considering again he was a last-minute addition to this tournament. Found out about an hour before his first match. Showed up and is continuing to win, continuing to represent the Protoss very, very well as Flipside tactics. And yeah, if you can keep it going,